the national pledge. Honorable President for the 6th we shall proceed to recite the national pledge. Approbation, my honor. Thank you so much. You may review your seats. I'd like to inform you that I will be traveling outside the country on Sunday, 10th November 2024, to Baku, Azerbaijan, at the invitation of the President of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Ilham Aliyev, to lead government delegation to the Conference of Parties, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change of 29, scheduled to be held from 10th November to 13th November 2024. Thereafter, I will depart Baku on Wednesday, 13th November 2024 to Paris, France, at the invitation of the President of France, His Excellency Emmanuel Macron, for an official visit on 14th November 2024. I will return to Ghana in the evening of Friday, 15th November 2024. During my absence, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia shall, in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution, act in my stead. Yours sincerely, Nana Adedankwa. The second is dated 14th December.
Grateful for the opportunity to make a statement. Welcome your good self, leadership, and all honorable members of Parliament back to this August House. Speaker, I would like to congratulate all members who were re-elected in the just ended parliamentary elections.
That you cannot implement the free SHS, we await the outcome of your policies. Mr. Speaker, we are aware that this incoming government is going to implement this Nkoko Nkete policy. The Nkoko Nkete is a social intervention program. We are going to welcome it, but you say you are going to reduce taxes. You are going to repeal the betting tax, the e-levy. You are going to repeal all these taxes. You are going to reduce the taxes at the ports. We wonder where you get the money to implement your Nkoko Nkete. We are waiting. Mr. Speaker, these are on a lighter note. But Mr. Speaker, clearly, this is a time for us to reflect, particularly those of us getting into opposition. Indeed, no party can run a perfect government in this country. When you get into government, whilst you are happy to implement your policies, you are likely to make some mistakes. We concede that some mistakes were made. We concede that we couldn't have done everything perfect. The people have spoken, we've accepted it. But Mr. Speaker, the coming days and years will reveal the true colors of this umbrella. And the elephant will be watching keenly in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, this House looks forward to a leadership that will keep us going and keep the lights on in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, let me commend you for the 4 years of your leadership in this House. Mr. Speaker, we may have our disagreements, but it is obvious that members' warfare have been key to your leadership. Nobody can take it away from you. Mr. Speaker, the institutional empowerment you've given to Parliament is equal to none. It's likely because, Mr. Speaker, we had you as a speaker coming from within. Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether you are being retained or a new person is going to be appointed, but I pray that if they decide, Mr. Speaker, if they sack him, Mr. Speaker, of all that you've done for them, they are going to sack him. Of all that Mr. Speaker has done for you, you are going to sack Mr. Speaker. You will see. Mr. Speaker, if they decide to retain you, I know Parliament is going to benefit. But should they decide to retire you, Mr. Speaker, they can do it too. They can do it. They are unpredictable, they can do it. If they decide to retain you, the happiness of this house will gather further momentum. However, if the new government decides to bring a new speaker, that speaker should come from within. We don't want an outsider. We want somebody from within who will understand us. Mr. Speaker, and ensure that statutory funds that are outstanding are released so that members can continue their projects, hand them over, especially those who are leaders. Mr. Speaker, to colleagues who could not make it, there's a better day tomorrow. Do not give up. The Frenchman will say, "C'est la vie." This is life. There are good days and bad days. If you lost, get back to the people, understand them, do some research, and I'm quite sure that upon that and reflection, you'll be better prepared for a better day tomorrow. There are some amongst us who lost elections and came back. Go to them, consult them, and engage them. And if you are desirous of remaining in public life, I'm sure you'll make it.
And I'm happy with her promise that she's going to keep the doors open for many more to take advantage of and to improve the living standard of our people. Ghana's democracy is the ultimate winner of these elections. We are definitely on the right course. I want to encourage all to continue in that right direction. Honorable members, this meeting is for a few days, being a product of a culmination of teething problems of our fourth attempt at democratic governance. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the commitment, resilience, and dedication that some of you honorable members have made and displayed to ensure that the term of this parliament ends successfully. Together, we have maneuvered and creditably navigated through, for the first time, an unexpected hung parliament with its unprecedented challenges. Despite our failings as legislators and leaders, Ghanaians held their peace and endured with admirable patience and tolerance. I take this opportunity to commend all Ghanaians for the show and demonstration of democratic maturity. As we prepare to embark on this penultimate meeting, we have, honorable members, work to do. We have a duty to perform. We have a parliament to strengthen, and we have a nation to build. The business of this house is far from complete, and the legislative priorities before us demand nothing short of our loyal service, utmost dedication, focus, and firm action. Several crucial private and public bills, tax and financial requisitions, international agreements, and committee reports are pending and at various stages of consideration. Unfortunately, the season and time are not in favor of the heavy work schedule as detailed out on the order paper. We are compelled in the circumstances to be realistic and to prioritize business. Unless we abandon the interests of the people and nation, there is no way the long list of government business on the order paper will be done within this limited period of time before the end of the term of office of this party. Consequently, I propose the House considers the following items as priority business. 1. Expenditure in advance of appropriation bill 2024. 2. Environmental Protection Bill 2024. The consideration of the process of this bill has been taken already. It just left with the third reading only. 3. Boundary Commission Bill 2024. This is a very urgent bill due to the state of insecurity in the world, particularly our sub-region, West Africa. The Social Protection Bill 2023 as number 4, Parliament Transition Bill 2023, Parliamentary Service Bill 2024, and a few Public Accounts Committee reports, which, if not taken, will lapse and have to be referred to a new committee in the 9th Parliament. And I believe that will cause irreparable damage to our economy. The two bills sponsored by Parliament are essential in refining the processes involved in the peaceful transfer of the management and administration of Parliament to prevent the occurrence of the ugly incidents at the birth of the 8th Parliament. It is time the House takes a decisive action to enact a law to strand out in clear terms the processes and procedures of transition from one parliament to the other. The Presidential Transition Act 2012 is a shining precedent for the executive arm of that. Additionally,
the Speaker explained that, quote, the right honourable Speaker indicated that the 102 of the 1990 Constitution and Order 64.1 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, the House had quorum to transact business. However, per Article 1041 of the Constitution, the House did not have the numbers to take decisions. So the matter was addressed by the right honourable Speaker. So that intervention that we had the numbers to proceed and all of that. The Speaker, we only had the numbers to form a quorum, but we didn't have the numbers to take a decision under Article 104, which the right honourable Speaker properly addressed. So I don't know where the majority leader is going with this. You are leading us astray. And if we can focus on the correct voting proceedings, if we do have the same voting proceedings for
and I know that he wasn't attempting to challenge your procedure. In the list, my procedure is good. Mr. Speaker, you made me aware some time ago, and this is a preliminary comment before I come to this stage, that sometimes a speaker may have to make a mistake to ensure that democracy survives. So, Mr. Speaker, this you told me some time ago, that sometimes some mistakes are necessary. I'm referring to Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that sometimes some mistakes are made just to get things done. So I have said that in jest. But let me go to the issue. The issue raised by Honorable Bell was to the effect
that no decision was being made. So calling that order enforced is wrong. He himself, in speaking, he said that there was no decision on the order paper to be made. So maybe we should take advantage that the item on the table now, on the floor now, is correction of votes and proceedings. So, Mr. Speaker, if something has been stated wrongly, this is the time to correct it, so that we can move on.
So that's for the others, those who believe that are aired in my ruling, they need to be taken to school. I'm not sure they read the ruling very well. And that ruling actually worked in their favor. Honorable Majority Leader, it actually worked in your favor. And for you to come here and try to impede on that ruling, please, I really was surprised that you raised the issue that you put across. It's not correct. Please.
We're going to the temperature. Mr. Speaker, I never raised this matter.
I'm not saying you raised the matter. I'm not saying that. But you gave an example that I told you. I'm sure we are talking about maybe in private.
No, Mr. Speaker,
but sometimes the speaker is.
Mr. Speaker, not on this occasion. It was not related to this. Mr. Speaker, it's not related to this. Mr. Speaker, today is a first day. Don't mind them. They are provoking you. Don't mind them. It is not on Mr. Speaker. Don't mind them. Don't be provoked. Mr. Speaker, be a rather happy man. I beg you. I don't want them.
Don't worry, I will never be provoked. But the public, they are listening to us. No, and the public will be misled.
Anticipated a leave of absence request that have been marked as absence without cause. So if you need to take access to that. And having said so, Mr. Speaker, even the certificate place is passed to the process of this whether we want to call for the extension of the sitting limit.
Yes, I may need to look at our new standing orders. A few things have been changed in the new standing orders. But I call on the table office (138). You now add yours.
Mr. Speaker, again on page 7, number 134, I was in the house but marked absent. So it's
Are you sure that you were at the house?
Mr. Speaker, yes. And I even wanted an interview on that day. I came in and my members had done the press conference and left. And I think that was in the paper and they should reflect as such. If we are here independently representing our people on that day, I was here. And I wanted an interview after that.
Yes, table office. Can we take note of that? Page 8. Yes, sorry, page 7.
The matter that we were considering was bothering in her, or was happening in her constituency. And I remember that every time that we met, she made herself available. So if it can be captured as in attendance, at least it would capture the true reflection of what happened on that day. She's always been part of our meeting as a member of parliament in the Adana area where the election term issue occurred. Not as a member of the committee, but as a sitting member of parliament. Thank you.
Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to make a comment on the business statement presented by the leader of government business. And Mr. Speaker, one thought that the leader would take a cue from your guidance. There are major developments in the country, and therefore, as a House, Mr. Speaker, one of the most important business this House should preoccupy itself with is the expenditure in advance of appropriation for January to March 2025. Arguably, Mr. Speaker, because the new government, which will assume the powers of government from 7th January, will have to put its act together in order to get a budget before the reconstituted parliament on midnight of 6th to 7th January. Therefore, what we are expected to do is to know, one, how the workers of this country will be taken care of in respect of compensation. Then, if there are interest payment commitments on loans in order that the country does not stand in default, that will also be addressed. So, Mr. Speaker, whilst you are giving your comments, I'm not sure the leader was listening. So that is major business. As for wanting to commit the new administration to some of the policy guidance, Mr. Speaker, we note that this government has a mandate until midnight of 6th January. But cautiously, they should be guided that they are not committing the incoming administration to some fiscal with some of the decisions they want to make. So he should, as you guided, Mr. Speaker, some of it that he wants to, some of the business he wants to take, even though he says that he wants understanding and consensus, they should be guided and prioritize government business. Our first major business should be the expenditure in advance of appropriation. That this House must concern itself with. The other business can wait. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Blakwa.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, the list of priorities for this meeting, Mr. Speaker, I want to respectfully appeal to you. As you read through, I got this of purpose. I was hoping to that we'll include work on the constitutional amendment bill on the dual citizenship matter. Because, Mr. Speaker, I thought that we had come very far on that. But I didn't hear you speak to that matter, and it also doesn't find expression here in the business statement. So, Mr. Speaker, if you can probably avert your mind to that. Then, Mr. Speaker, the second issue that I want to raise relates to the tall list of tax waivers that the majority leader continues to present to this House in business statements. Mr. Speaker, we have stated our position on this matter, and considering the fact that all of these matters have been voted against and rejected by the Ghanaian people, why is the majority leader still putting it in the business statement and wanting to get us to work on these matters? It is so unpopular. Total list over 40 tax waivers, Mr. Speaker, and this will have serious fiscal implications for the next government. I mean, why do you want to saddle the next government with these huge revenue losses when you have been roundly rejected at the polls? And this is a government talking about coming to cut down obnoxious and nuisance taxes. And then you are creating more fiscal liabilities for us. So, Mr. Speaker, we want to serve notice that these tax waivers, we are not going to support them. So, please listen to the right honourable speaker's list of priorities, particularly the budget for the first 3 months of next year. As for tax waivers, we cannot support you. Honourable Afenimaki, we cannot support you. So you need to really get this out of the business statement. I'm very Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
I come from an understanding as far as government business that we have perceived this session that we are going. Just to get up and say that Ghanaians are totally rejected NPP and all these bills and all these encumbrances. It's a very, very offensive. It's a very, very offensive in the sense that there are other things that have been pulled down that I think that we should even bother to do. Why should we at this time take up any bill, whether it is an environmental bill or social bill? I think the new government then should come and start, because they are resetting. And I agree, they are then voted for resetting. So Mr. Speaker, then probably the only thing we have to do is to take the vote on account and closure. We should not continue with any business here. Because, like Honorable Oguneto said, and rightly so, Ghanaians have voted for the research and end of the country. So, not only that, Mr. Speaker, apart from the vote and proceedings and maybe his end of service benefits that he's very much interested in, every other thing, social protection bill, second review of bills, third review, so that we have enough time to do Article 7 to our business and do vote on account, so that, yes, if it is not well doing, it's not well doing. Please. So we have agreed on resetting. Let's close shop on everything. Do those that are interested in that to further his own personal interest. And close shop. Thank you.
This matter. I've guided the House because I know what happened at the end of 2000. And I know what happened at the end of 2008. I know what happened at the end of 2016. I know the statements that incoming governments made and the outgoing government. And we are following those good practices. And so before I gave the proposals in my statement, leadership had a bite on it. When they agreed, I captured it. When they disagreed, I eliminated it. So I just simply said the items are captured in my statement.
Round and round and round. And we are coming back to the process to say maybe the leadership should meet urgently and consider things that the two sides can agree so that we go on. Because I also don't believe that we are going to sit here and pick and choose. If you are not going to, and it's definitely one or two items, let's do those 1 and 2 items. And leave the incoming government with a free hand to operate as they want. But what has been agreed, both on expenditure for the first quarter of next year and other matters that we all agree. Let's do that. And we can rise in 2-3 days. I don't believe personally that we should go about doing first reading of the bill, second reading of the bill, third reading of the bill, because it all has implications on the physical balance of the country. There's not a single bill here that doesn't have a cost implication for government. So let's leave it to them and let them inherit all the goodness of all the first, and let them bring in all the badness that they are bringing, so that Ghanaians will do the difference. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, on 2 occasions, his side dragged us out of our constituencies to this house to do what he described as urgent business, which is not different from what is placed here. He refused to even come and do his own business. Now that you have called us under normal circumstances, he's asking us to add another day, a Saturday. Mr. Speaker, what is the justification? And that is why I adopt the position by the former running mate of New Patriotic Party, my own friend, Honorable Dr. Oboku Prempe, who says that we should take the businesses that are urgent, that is appropriation in advance expenditure in advance of appropriation, and those items that are time bound. And then we call it a day,
the new government comes and decide what priorities are. Then we do them, Mr. Speaker. So I think, leader, we beg you. I know you have a tough job, but to assume that we can do, you know it yourself, we cannot start any deal now. We've never even done it before. It is just not, and I would encourage you. The atmosphere in the house today appears to be cordial. I entreat you to entrench the peaceful nature of this house towards Friday. Any attempt to do other things may not be good. And you also said the whips should do something about welfare. Leader, you have the key to addressing the welfare issues of this house. I have no control over the finance minister. I have no control over the common fund administrator. You can do that. I don't even know the last time I saw the what do you call it, the common fund administrator. All I know is that during the campaign, candidates of a particular party received a lot of goodies from common fund. It's not from her. It's not from her. Okay. Honorable Dr. Oku said that it's not from her. I just said, I didn't mention anything. I said they received goodies. One particular party received goodies that appear to be goods from common fund. But it is not from their fund. But the only people who can cause the common fund administrator to disburse to the assemblies, the only person who can cause the common fund administrator to fulfill her mandate as in the constitution is you, not our side. But if he fails, maybe we will advise ourselves. So there is no shifting of responsibility. You have the opportunity. I've seen people call you majority leader today. Lift your expectation. We have 5 days to prove you are majority leader. I will reserve other comments.
These items that have been listed on the business statement have not suddenly arisen. They are not matters that have suddenly arisen. They have been with us. In the spirit of continuity in governance, in the spirit of setting a certain novel precedence to guide tomorrow, I want to encourage my colleagues to cooperate with government to do this key government business. For instance, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleague Ablaba of Norton stated that the incoming government intends to reduce taxes and deal with obnoxious the tax regime we have, according to him. If that were to be so, why will this same incoming government reject the 1D1F, which is giving an incentive? Because we don't want too many imposition of taxes on corporate Ghana. What this tax is doing, what this is doing, is to take away the taxes. You say that you are going to rebuild taxes. We are giving an incentive. You say no.
Honorable Majority Leader, business statement.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm responding to the consensus.
No, we are not debating the subject matter. We are looking at the business statement and the items.
So, Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying is that I did not just come up with these. We sat at a committee. It's a collective decision to bring this proposal. Mr. Speaker, they should know that they are coming into government. This opposition posture, you better change. I mean, you are no more in opposition. You better stop that your behavior. You should change your behavior. We should see signs of your readiness to government and stop this violence, chaotic, stop. You are now.
Please. We are not just in a conversation. We are in the parliament and we have rules. These items found space on the order paper because they are pending business. And so if you look at the standing orders, you have to keep on capturing them on the standing orders because they are business before the House. They were either only admitted by the Speaker, they were presented to the House, they are before us, and they are not completed. So they will always find space in the order paper. But I've stated clearly that in view of the limitation of time and the season, we will not do justice with this business if we decide to take them now. As a result of that, we should take just a few key items that can keep the wheel of governance going and the public interest attended to. And that is why I mentioned those items, particularly as being agreed to by both sides of the House. And so let's take to that. Let's take to that. The others, there will be no time to consider them if you really want to do good business for the people of Ghana. Please, let's move on. There are other things that I want to inform you. But yes, Manuel Leader.
My colleague, the Honorable Afenyo Marken, that it would be wrong for an outgoing government to commit an incoming government to millions of US dollars, which will be a fiscal strain on the next budget. Mr. Speaker, I said this on the backdrop that before us, they are proposing to buy ships worth 140 million euros at this time. Mr. Speaker, it is very wrong for a government that has left, that is leaving office in 3 weeks, to commit 140 million euros. Mr. Speaker, if it is extremely important for the state, allow the new government to commit them. Right, Honorable Speaker, the tax exemptions before us, if approved, will have a fiscal burden in the next budget. So you are saying that the next government should carry your burden of $350 million? Mr. Speaker, no way. No way, it's not going to happen. Right, Honorable Speaker, as we speak, there is no 2025 budget. Activities before us cannot commit to the 2025 budget. We don't know the priorities of the next government. Look, I reviewed the Hansard before coming here. The Honorable Chairman Sabosu is a precedent to me. Okay, it's authority on this matter. In 2016, what he said to us, and it is for that reason why today we were not able to take the loan for dam and go water. I brought dam and go water before us. They said to us that you cannot commit the next government, and if it is urgent or important, allow the next government to take it. So Mr. Speaker, issues that will commit this country, as long as our budget is concerned, Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that let us leave it for the next administration to handle. But there are other low-hanging fruits here, like the Environmental Protection Agency bill. It is only, we finished the bill, we have left with only the third reading. Mr. Speaker, that one, if you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want it, the next minister responsible for environment will come and do it. But anything else, Mr. Speaker, it won't happen. It will not happen. Thank you.